Hey everybody, and welcome to the Whole Package by Premier Packaging. I am your host, Billy Watkins, and I am joined today by Pam Wilson.
Hello.
Pam, nice to see you. You are our Vice President of Products.
Yes.
Which is a very straightforward title.
And a new one.
And a new one for us.
Mm-hmm.
And just for a little behind the scenes sort of thing, you and I just got out of like a 3-hour-long meeting.
Yes.
And now we have to do a podcast.
We're very well acquainted now.
I didn't say a lot in the meeting. I apologize. I was saving myself up for this.
That's right.
To get into it. But so Vice President of Products for Premier, a new thing for us, a new position. But before we get to that, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Yeah, so originally from Connecticut, but I now live in the Cleveland area.
Okay.
I still work remotely out of there. And the reason why I ended up in Cleveland is because I went to grad school there for chemistry.
Macromolecular science and engineering. You got your PhD at Case Western Reserve University.
Yep.
Which is in Cleveland.
Yep.
We were talking, I've never been to Cleveland. Now I want to go. Museums and food, or
museums and food.
We've
got the best of both of those.
Sounds good to me. Tell me a little bit about macromolecular science and engineering. What are we talking about?
It's really just a fancy way to say polymer chemistry.
Okay.
And in case you're not aware, polymers are really long chain molecules made up of lots of little components.
Yep.
Polymers are used in everything from paint and coatings to the nylon in your sweater to lots of the plastics that you see.
All around us.
All around us.
Life would be a little harder without polymers.
Absolutely.
Basically, how the heck did you get interested in that particular field?
I've always been a chemistry nerd or a science nerd in general. But one of the things I love about chemistry is it's a way to grow your curiosity about the world, right? So it describes how things come together, how materials work, and there's all sorts of questions that you can ask about that, how they interact with each other. And chemistry was a way for me to play with those chemicals in the lab while answering those questions.
Can you remember back, high school days, your tentative experiments and that sort of thing in science and biology classes? Do you have a favorite one that kind of sticks out, where you really thought to yourself, oh yeah, I'm into this?
Yeah, absolutely. The more dangerous, the better, although it was in a controlled environment. So anytime somebody puts a Bunsen burner in front of you with an open flame and says, heat this and let's see what happens. I was like, sign me up.
Reactions are always good. So after grad school, you spent about 13 years at a company that supplied sort of sustainable coatings and paints and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I spent a long time in the paints and coatings field. A lot of our focus was on sustainability as well, but a lot of functionality too. So the areas that I focused on was running R&D departments for coatings for metal things. So roofing, siding, garage doors, but also on metal packaging.
Interesting.
So food cans, beverage cans, things like that. So coatings that a lot of people don't even know exist.
Right. But yet again, are part of our everyday lives. Right?
That's right.
So you're based in Cleveland, a little place called Chagrin Falls. Well, I say a little place. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, it's a little place called Chagrin Falls. Yes.
It sounds picturesque.
It's a little place. Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Are there falls? Is there a little waterfall?
There are falls, a cute little walkable downtown, boutiques, things like it's adorable.
Lovely. How the heck did you wind up at Premier? Coming from what we were talking about with the polymers and the paints.
Yep.
Now you're in corrugated.
Yeah, so I spent a long time at that previous company.
Mm-hmm.
I did lots of different roles, lots of different things. It was a global company, so I had lots of big exposure. But it was really looking to use those transferable skills in new industries in new exciting ways. So I had done a lot of metal packaging in the past. But what's exciting about moving to a company like Premier is I'm still in that packaging space, but I get to use the things I've learned in completely new ways and new products.
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of the things that I did previously is transferable to different industries. So when the opportunity came up at Premier, I was really excited to apply.
So you were, I mean, and you're working in something that kind of focused on sustainability, and you've certainly come to an industry that is that also has a huge focus and
Yes.
ability to be sustainable. So
Yeah, having that sustainability background has really helped me here to see when we talk about products and we'll talk about product development, a lot of things that we're developing are towards more sustainable options that our customers really want.
yeah, which is everything's going that way. So you've been here how many months now?
6-7 months.
So certainly there has been, there's been the honeymoon period of getting acquainted
Yes.
and who everybody is and what we do and all of that stuff. But now that you're into it, what exactly is it that you do here as Vice President of Product?
Yeah, so one of the first things I did was build up the product team. The product team consists of a couple of different groups, one being our automation department that sells equipment, the second being our design group that will design the different boxes and other products that we sell, and the third one being the bin box team that you're a part of. So part of it is just managing that team and bringing everyone together and working towards those goals. But I also have another section that's the product development piece. So we call it our innovation group. Right now it's an army of one plus me,
Right.
but we're really looking to grow that and build out our product development pipeline.
Okay. So, working with packaging products, it would seem very different than working with chemicals and polymers. Obviously it is, but how do some of those skills that you had before fit nicely with Premier?
One of the things that I used to do, both do it myself and then manage teams that did this, is start on the bench creating something new and then scaling that up to millions of gallons of coating, right?
Yeah.
And the steps that you take to go from a small concept
Right.
up to production are very similar across industries, right? So that's what I'm bringing to Premier of, okay, I know the steps that have to happen along the way.
Right.
Now I ask my colleagues to teach me how we translate those steps for this type of packaging.
Okay. And the customers that we have. So let's talk a little bit about product development. You getting here, how have you started to determine that there's a need for a new product? What are the steps that we take to do that?
So one of the first things I did when I joined was just listen, right? Listen to where we're successful, what products we sell today. We both manufacture in-house products, of course, but also have a very strong distribution channel.
Right.
So understanding which products we sell today and what our customers are asking for tomorrow, right? And also anticipating where we think changes are coming in both technology, automation, manufacturing. Where can we anticipate those changes and start building products to meet that type of demand?
It's definitely a very proactive way of doing things business-wise. We're not just reacting to
Correct.
What our customer might want on a particular day.
Yes.
It's looking down the road, seeing what's out there for the future, and making those steps to make that happen. Right.
Yeah, and then what we do on the back end of that is apply a pretty robust process of, okay, if we're developing something, what do we have to think about first? And then once we think all that through, okay, what do we need to think about next to scale that up or to get feedback from a customer on, is this the performance that you're looking for?
Right.
And then once we get all that, okay, can we do it at scale? Can we bring it to all our manufacturing sites and think about that part? So there's a very stepwise process called the stage gate process that we use to bring something from concept to production.
To reality, to production. And once we have those ideas, what are we doing? I mean, you've got mock-ups, you've got samples, you've got testing. What does that look like in terms of time frame and process?
So we've started formalizing some of these project teams that were already happening, but we've just put a bit more formality around it, along with that structure and process. And
sometimes it's just putting things in writing, right?
Absolutely,
just to formalize
absolutely.
it. Right.
Let's document what we're doing. What's really great is we get to then write down what is the specific product that we're going to create, what is the performance expectations, where our customers need, all of that. And then I don't remember your original question anymore.
Oh, I forget them after I ask anyway. So I mean, it's well, in terms of I guess the time frame for and the process of getting something from an idea to a product.
So the
mock-ups, samples, that sort of thing.
Right. The time frame can vary based on what kind of project we're talking about. When it comes to internal manufacturing, those can be 6 months to a year.
Right.
Or even longer if it's more complex. We also look at product development for things that we don't manufacture, right? What products do we want to bring in from our vendors to offer through our distribution channel? Those are much shorter time frame. We're talking 3 months or a little bit more possibly. Mostly then we're validating their products and if our customers are happy with that.
So it just depends on the product.
It
right?
depends. It does. It depends.
All of those variables. This is not necessarily in your wheelhouse, but how important do you think it is to come up with a good name for a product?
It resonates with people, right?
Right.
If you have a good name, it sticks in people's minds. So it's not as important as, let's say, the performance from our customer standpoint, but of getting people interested and excited about it up front, name can do a lot.
And that is, of course, something typically our marketing department would do, right?
Yes.
Naming those products. So, not to pull the curtain back or anything like that, but are there any? Can you talk about any kind of new products that Premier is developing right now? I know we're just getting started down this road, but is there anything coming up that we can talk about?
There are definitely things coming up.
And no,
I can't talk about it. I mean,
fun.
There were already things underway when I joined Premier, of course, as with any company who's always got new things coming out. So I was excited to jump in on those projects that were already underway and help bring them through to launch. We're not quite ready to talk about it right now, but both those coming out probably in the near future, but we have lots more on the back end in the pipeline coming through too.
Which means you can be a returning guest and we can talk about them more in the future. I'll come up to Cleveland and we'll go to Chagrin Falls and have a little outside podcast or something like that. What do you see down the road for Premier and new products for us?
One of the advantages I think Premier has is since we have our manufacturing, the equipment sales, the distribution, we can see all the trends that are happening from, like I mentioned, technology-wise, automation-wise. We can monitor all these trends and move to be proactive with them. So what I see the future of Premier is capturing that and providing products before people even know that they need them.
It is exciting, and it shows a lot of foresight on our part because I cannot imagine that every Joe Box company has a position like this or is being this proactive in terms of product development, right?
Yes, and we have very creative minds. Very innovative thinkers already within the company, and we just point them in the right direction and we got new products.
And off we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Pam, it was very nice talking to you today.
Same.
Look forward to continuing the conversation as we roll out new stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I look forward to actually sharing with you what we're developing.
I could also foresee maybe we do like a little science show. We get a Bunsen burner out in the middle of the table. We both have our goggles on.
That's right.
Mr. Wizard action.
As long as we have proper PPE,
then
I'm
we're
ready.
good to go.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Pam.
Yeah, thank you.
Pam Wilson, everybody, our Vice President of Products here at Premier Packaging. I'm Billy Watkins, and this is The Whole Package by Premier Packaging. Until next time, bye, everybody.
Do you have comments, questions, or ideas about this topic? If so, we'd like to hear from you. Please visit primpack.com/podcast to let us know what you think. Thanks.